I try to wear like a golf hat. Try to wear a little bit of golfy.
Nice, nice, cool.
Morning, gents. Nice to meet you, Daniel.
Hi, Julian. Yeah, nice to meet you.
All right, so we're just waiting on. We'll go ahead and get started, and Roger might hop on at some point. Um, so
Okay,
good
sure.
morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
really excited to talk to you. You developed this app for making golf with friends easier. I'll let you take it from there. Can you tell us about the app? But first, can you tell us about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Daniel Landeros. Born and raised in Texas, Midland, Odessa, to be specific. I went to Baylor University, and until recently, I was living in Pennsylvania, and before that, Colorado.
Right.
Very
Okay.
cool.
And what do you spend most of your time doing?
Lately, working on the app, developing this new version, a little bit more involved the app is. But other than that, just golfing, of course. I've been trying to improve my game. I am very much a beginner, so yeah, I've been trying to practice as much as possible, and just spending time with friends and family now that I'm back in Texas.
Okay, right
Awesome.
on.
And do you have a software background or what's your like work experience and college background?
Sure. So at Baylor, I actually majored in biology. Um, I
Nice.
went that sciences route early on in my career. And then by the time COVID came around and lockdowns and working from home and stuff, um, I realized I needed to make a switch to, a career that I might be able to do remotely for those kind of situations. And I'd always been interested in computers ever since I was a kid, and I'd always wanted to learn how to program in particular. And so during those years, I started by taking online courses, like free ones on YouTube, very basic stuff.
Mm.
Once I realized, hey, I can understand this, I can, follow along. I wanted to expand on that and actually get some more formal education. So I joined Reviture, which is a training program. They actually pay you to learn how to program, and
Wow.
they'll teach you everything. So I know how to do full stack development, which is what this app is. And then after that, I got a job in tech, which is what I'm currently doing now. And then I decided to get into data science as well. So I took an MIT course, finished that, got my certificate. And ever since then, I've just been working and trying to implement this app as best as I can.
Right on. Very cool.
So the type of
Yes, sir.
development you do for work or the job in tech that you have, does any of that experience relate to other parts of the app? Or is it just the building side, or do you get a glance at like the marketing side and the user side? Can you explain that?
Yeah, good question. So, no, it's really more just the technical side. I do right now, I've been doing a lot of automation scripts. So, writing code that will automate existing software programs for the company just to make testing and other things easier. I've also been doing a lot of data analysis. I'll extract data from our company databases and then run analysis just based on whatever leadership needs. Unfortunately, I don't get any look at the marketing aspect like you mentioned. It's all technical. I'm just kind of like the workhorse in the background.
Mm.
Whenever they need anything technical done, they come to me and I help out with that.
Right on. And is there
Awesome.
anything in the early stages of your app? I know for sure we've dug through it, we're very excited about it.
Sure.
But has there been any other aspects from like or feedback that you received that's really you know, created innovation or updates to that?
Sure. So, I mean, to start with the review from you guys, there was some of the feedback that I really liked was, um, yeah, I realized that I had a little too much security for the type of app that it is.
Mm.
I think the reason I started thinking about that and I was like, why did I kind of overdo that aspect? And I think my initial thought process was I'm working with Apple. And from my understanding, Apple is notorious about data protection. And really now in general, the tech industry has become very much about protecting users' data. And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to need, this kind of level of password for this, even for this type of app. But after you mentioned, hey, this is a little difficult to get into, and passwords may be overkill. I looked into it further, and apparently Apple would be okay with this particular app not having password protection. So one of the biggest things that I implemented based on your feedback was doing a passwordless authentication. So now I use what is called a magic link. So you input your email, it sends you a link to your email. You click on that link, and you're instantly logged in. So again, no more worrying about passwords, forgetting passwords, entering them. And then once you're logged in, I increased the login to about a year or so. So that way you're not having to constantly be logged out, and then even doing the magic link regularly, you won't even have to do that.
Right on.
Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's always good to start with the security mindset, though. I always want to make sure you're protecting the users. So can definitely appreciate where you came from on the initial thought process there.
Yeah, and this is despite my background in tech now, this is my first time trying to really develop this type of app where I'm launching it in production. I mean, I've developed many apps in the past, so I understood the process. But again, this is the first time where I'm launching it into production and having real life users, and then trying to make a business out of it, trying to build a company around it. So there's a lot of learning for me as I go, despite whatever technical skills I may have or knowledge I may have. There's a lot of it still that is very much new to me. So as I'm going, I'm learning, and that's why this is a very iterative process. Put something out there very basic is kind of what I learned, and then start getting feedback from real life users. And that was my MVP, my minimum viable product, which is the version that you guys were reviewing. And now that I've gotten some feedback, I've compiled all that, and for the last 6 or 7 weeks or so, I've been working on this new version, which I'm really excited about. I think it looks a lot better. It's got a lot more features. It does look a lot more like a modern app. So I'm excited to, give you guys a small demo here a little later.
Yeah, really excited to
Absolutely.
see that. Before we take a deep dive on the app, can
Sure.
you tell us about you and just golf in general? Like, how did that relationship start? Where did you learn?
Yeah,
When
sure.
did you get interested?
So, as I mentioned earlier, up until recently, I was living in Pennsylvania. I had moved up there for work. I was working on a Comcast project, and Comcast is headquartered in Philadelphia. So, after I moved up there, I was starting to get into golf. And I remember telling one of my buddies here in Texas, I was like, hey, man, so I really want to start golfing again. And, I'm going to get my own set of clubs because up until then, I didn't have my own. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to try to golf up here as much as I can. And then I realized, well, I don't know anybody up here. I don't have any friends or family. I have no connections to Pennsylvania. All my roots are here in Texas. So then I was like, well, I can either just try to go play by myself and, try to do that. But to me, like for a lot of golfers, golf is a very social sport, right? So I wasn't so keen on the idea of golfing by myself. And then I thought, well, even if I go by myself, there's a very good chance that I could be paired up with random golfers, right? Because right now you can just go to any booking site for any course, and you can pick an open tee time slot and book it, right? Independent of who else might be in that group already. So as a beginner, I was very intimidated that I might show up and I get paired up with golfers that have been golfing for, let's say, 10 plus years, and that are, they have pretty low handicaps, very skilled, me not so much. So again, that intimidation factor where I didn't want to, maybe embarrass myself in front of these guys. I didn't want to slow them down either. because I've learned that pace of play is very important to a lot of golfers. So anyway, I think, well, there's got to be an app where I can jump on it and say, hey guys, I'm a beginner. I'm just looking to start golf, and I want to practice more, and I want to keep it casual. And I couldn't find anything. First thing I did was go into the app store on my iPhone, and there's a ton of golf apps right now, but none exactly that were doing what I was looking for. So I reached out to my buddy here in Texas, who's been golfing now for about 6 or 7 years, and he's really into golf. So I told him kind of my dilemma, and I asked him, hey, do you know of an app? Like, can you point me in the right direction where I might be able to find something that can help me out with this? And he looked into it as well, couldn't find anything. So the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Maybe there is a gap that can be filled here. And I was like, well, I am a software engineer and I do have experience building these apps. So I thought, well, I have a lot of extra time on my hands right now. I wasn't too busy with work at the time. So I was like, hey, while, on my days off or after work, I'm going to just start playing around with this and see what I can come up with. So at first it was more of a, let me see if I can do it. Let me see if this can even be something that is possible. And then once things started coming together, then I was like, hey, maybe this could be something. And I reached out to my buddy again here in Texas and asked him to help me out. And for the last 13, 14 months, that's been a lot of my focus, is trying to develop the app, launch it, get the feedback, and kind of go from there.
Awesome. Yeah, it's the tale as old as time, right? You run into a problem, there's no solution out there, so you go and build your own solution. So I love it.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Daniel. So go ahead and we'll share the screen. Can you give us a walkthrough or a demo of the updated app?
Sure. Yeah. Let me get this ready here. So bear with me.
Sure, go ahead.
Sorry, let me see which one is the.
Now take your time.
Okay, share my screen. It says disabled share. So host disabled attendee screen sharing. If you don't mind enabling
Let
that
me
for me,
see.
please.
All right, try it again, please.
Alrighty. Okay, awesome. So. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, great. So real quick, I have it here in a mobile view, since the mobile version is the main version. That is what we expect users to use primarily, because that's the one that's going to give you access to push notifications and just the more holistic experience with the app. So this is how it's going to look like on a typical smartphone. So to start out with, this is the home tab. Navigation now for multiple screens is down here at the bottom. So again, more of a modern look and feel to it. The play button here is kind of where
I love that.
everything begins. So there's two differentiations here that I've kind of learned that there are for most golfers, and this includes me. This includes my group of friends that I regularly golf with here in Texas. So it's either you're looking to find a group first, and then once you find a group, then you decide which course you want to play at, what date, what time, etc. And then there's others that already have a tee time booked. It could be myself and one of my buddies. So for sure, two of us are going to play, but we don't have another two, right? And we want to force them to complete the group. So we can post an open tee time and pretty much say like, hey, us two are already going to play for sure at this course on this date at this time, and we're just looking for two more golfers to fill the group. So if we go, for example, with find a group, then I can make this a public post. And this is a little different from the original flow. The original flow was, hey, I say that I'm looking for a group, and then it just kind of goes into the ether, if you will, and it's kind of in the background, and the user really doesn't know what's going on. But I decided, well, if this goes back, sorry, to what you guys mentioned about having people come back to the app regularly. So I thought about that as well, and I figured, well, if I can make this post public, kind of like a bulletin board,
Yep.
then maybe that will encourage people to check it regularly and be able to just check that bulletin board and see if there's a match coming up, or a request for a match that might fit, your time, your date, or whichever course you want to play at. So it's based here, as you can see, on location. I'm in Wiley, Texas right now. You can search for a course. So let's say that one is in Houston. And sorry if this is still a little buggy.
No, no,
This
I'm good.
is very much still in, yeah, see, it's being a little buggy with the course selection. I'm still very much in development. This is not even close to going into beta. But as you can see here, there's the different time options, skill preferences. So there's some golfers that don't mind any level playing. They just want to have fun. They just want to have the social aspect. And then others want to have a similar handicap. Maybe they want to be more competitive or ensure that everyone is kind of on a similar pace of play. And similarly, you can say, I want a casual play style, competitive pace of play, which again is very important to most golfers. You can do a kind of a regular, relaxed one, or if you really want to play ready golf, you can go with fast. And then finally, you can put some kind of a note down here. Anything you want any potential golfers to know about your post. And then we also have the open tee times. So here are already seated some examples. So for example, here, Pat, which is my friend here in Texas, who's also part of the company. He's a big golfer. I used him to post an open tee time for Firewheel, Saturday, May 23rd at 7:30 a.m. All handicaps are welcome, and there's currently 2 spots left. So I do have the option to join that. And then for finding a group first, we have Val, who's also part of the company, and she posted one for Sunday, May 17th. Anytime is fine. And here, she put all handicaps are welcome, looking for casual play and just a regular pace. And then there's 2 spots left for this one. So I can join it. It says I'm joined here in the home tab. It takes a few seconds to update, but it should update and show the new match. And once it updates, I'll be able to click on it, and then you'll see the chat aspect. The chat is designed to help the golfers coordinate because, of course, you're more than likely still going to be strangers with people that you match with. So it just makes it easier for you to break the ice a little bit, get to know each other, and again, ultimately coordinate on where you might want to play. If anything comes up, any questions, etc., you'll have that option to communicate with each other. And then while we're here, you can see that there's it'll update your upcoming. Oh, there we go. So one upcoming round. There's 2 past rounds, as you can see from what I was testing before. A couple of past rounds. So here you see everyone's avatar. So that is something else that I added. I wanted to make it more personable. A lot of the feedback was, hey, can we upload pictures? So finally able to do that. So I'm really glad to implement that. We can click on book our tee time. So as you can see, it'll take us directly to the booking sheets for this particular course. And then after you book your tee time and you navigate back to the app, it'll actually detect that you've navigated back to the app after clicking on the booking link. And then you can say, hey, what time did you book? So because again, this is just a test, we'll just say 7:30 a.m. Yes, it's confirmed. So now you know that you've confirmed your tee time. It'll update your tee time, and it'll let the other people in your group know that you've done that. You can add it to your calendar. This is mainly, I haven't gotten a chance to test this because this is primarily for mobile, because it'll sync up with your Apple or Google Calendar. But if we click on the card here, you'll be able to see the chat now. So I can just
Nice.
say, hi guys, looking forward. Oh, sorry, this is just part of the display here. Looking forward to playing. And so now you can communicate with them. If you go here, you can cancel the match if necessary. For whatever reason you need to bow out, you can do that. And then just to check out the other tabs, if we go to the profile tab, you can change your picture here. So that's me about to tee off and it'll show my handicap. So again, I'm a beginner, so that's 29 plus. You got your default play style, your pace of play, home location, and then just some other stuff for your account here. But the flow, when you sign up, there is onboarding. Well, it'll ask you about your handicap and all these other things here. So that's where you enter them, and then it'll save them here on your preferences. And of course, you can always change these at any time. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's kind of the main part of the app. But as you can see, it's a lot more cleaned up. It's a lot more organized, a few more features. And like I said, I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm hoping that you guys will be beta testers and help us beta test this on the mobile app. And I'm hoping to do that here in the next few weeks.
No, really great work, man. This looks super clean and really looks like a lot of work has been done since the V1, call it, the last time we saw it. So yeah, this looks really nice.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I've been working on it for a while now, and I've had it in the back of my mind for a while. So it was just a matter of getting enough feedback and then settling on the design. Because for me personally, the design aspect, the aesthetic of it was
Mhm.
pretty difficult. I'm not that like artsy and creative when it comes to this kind of thing, and I feel like there's infinite options, right? It could have
Right.
gone any one of which ways. And so finally, I landed on this. It's pretty simple, but I like how it looks.
No, me too. I think it's very clean. The green, the kind of simple green and white pattern, especially I think fits with the golf theme really well. So
Yes, I agree. Thank you.
All
I
right.
also
I have
really
a.
like those. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Roger. Go ahead. Or go ahead, Julie.
No, maybe just a couple of call outs. So I guess one of the feedback that I was thinking through on the first time was, the direct booking link. So I saw that you have that implemented now to where you can like go in, you can go directly to that like page and then book it on their page and then come back and then like put the time on the calendar here. So I really like that feature that you're able to just go within the app natively to the Augusta Pines Golf Club's website, click it, book it, and then come back here and confirm it. So I really like the kind of full closing the loop there.
Yeah, and it's funny because I actually had that implemented in the first version. The only reason you guys
Oh,
didn't see it during your review is because you guys didn't create a match. If, like, let's
oh,
say all three of you had each done the same search, you would
mhm,
have, the algorithm would have grouped all you guys together. It would have created the match. It would have opened the chat. And then in the chat is where I had the booking link.
mm,
So now I have it still in the chat. So again, if I like click on it, see
mhm,
you'll see the link here.
mhm,
But I decided just to have it on the main card as well. So just two different
mm.
places for it to be accessible.
Gotcha, gotcha. No, that makes sense. And I guess question, if you, let's say you go, you book it, and then all of a sudden, hey, I need to reschedule or something, can you still go back, change the booking, and then come back here and then update it? And then that gets pushed out to the group and say, hey, we booked it for 8, but now it needs to be at 10. Just here's a push notification to the users.
So right now, I mean, it's a bit complicated because I'm trying to think. If you already booked and you need to
Hmm.
cancel or just change,
Hmm.
almost always you have to call the pro shop and let them know, like, hey,
Ah,
I booked a certain time online, but for whatever reason, I either have to cancel it or can I cancel that particular one and then just choose a different time.
hmm.
And then that's where the chat comes into play, right? You can let your group know, like, hey guys, for whatever reason, I have to cancel, or how about we change to a different time?
Hmm.
And then it still gives you the option to cancel out of this completely If you just
Mhm.
can't play anymore, you can let people know, hey, I can't play for whatever reason. I'm gonna, cancel my participation. So you can actually hit cancel and take you out of that match. It'll still stay live for everyone else still in that match, and it will increase the spots available so
Okay.
that as long as the match hasn't occurred yet, it's still on that bulletin board that we saw here on rounds.
Hmm.
And so then, anyone else that's interested can join at that point.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm just thinking about, life happens. If we need to reschedule, how easy is it to just update it within the app itself? Understand that you might need to call the course, but like within the app, let's say you already called the course and rescheduled from 8 to 10. Can I just go in and change it like here, or do I need to cancel it and then rebook it on the
That
app
is a good
itself?
question. Yeah, I can. I hadn't implemented that. I hadn't actually thought about, hey, what if I just need to change the time and can I update it
Mm,
on here? So that
yeah.
is something that I can actually add. So, this is great. This is like real-time feedback.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I can add some kind of option here to, just a little edit button or something simple and be able to
Yeah.
change that time.
Yeah, something simple to just, hey, it was 7:30, now it needs to be 8:30. And then obviously you have the chat that you can tell the users, but if it has like a push notification of, hey, Daniel updated this event from 7 to 8 or something so that the users are aware, and then it just like I don't know. I'm not the technical guy, but just some quick feedback on that.
No, yeah, that's excellent. I appreciate it.
You've done a really good job. And this 2.0 feels like a 5.0, based
Yeah,
on, our first run through. So this is
for
great,
sure.
great job,
Yes.
outstanding work. I think just watching you go through the demo, I think the word that kept like going to my head was intuitive. Everything's very
Mm,
intuitive. I don't have to look for a button. I don't like, and it almost the process. I could tell there was process mapping done, and like the flow of this of the process to go from hey, I want to play to now we got it all booked. I can tell like that was very intuitive and set up nicely. Because it's watching you go through the demo. Even me as a non-golfer, I was like, oh, next he's probably gonna click on this button. And sure enough, that was the next thing, and that was the next thing. So just really good job on the process mapping. I mean, I'm not sure when you break it down between what demographics you're gonna mostly have on this app. It is nice to know that a beginner like me can probably hop on here and without, too much of a hassle, be able to book a game or book a match. Um, so there's really good job on that. Again,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm not the golfer, so I can't tell you anything about on the field once you get there. I don't even know if it's called a field or a pitch or I don't know what, the green, I guess. But um, I will say super excited to be one of the beta testers when it gets there, and provide feedback during that round. Um, but the one thing I am just curious about. Not so much feedback because it just might have been not a decision yet or not time for it yet. But I know golf is a very once everyone's there and everyone's having fun, it does become sort of like a networking opportunity as well. Have you thought
Absolutely.
about on the profiles? Because I see now you have profiles built out. People have like their preferences on there. Maybe an external link to like their LinkedIn or to their email or some kind of someone where they can contact in case, like, hey, me and Julian really hit it off. Me and Daniel really hit it off. Maybe can I follow him on the app and then I can get a notification whenever he books something. Hey, I'll hop on a game with him, or that kind of thing. Have you thought about that?
Um, Not in that way, but I actually really like that because, as you mentioned, golf can be a very good way to network, especially with white collar jobs, right? White collar careers, which is the the majority of golfers. They tend to have, they tend to be higher socioeconomic levels, and they tend to have these white collar careers where networking is very important. And so, yeah, I love that idea. Actually, if you can sync up your LinkedIn or any other kind of professional website, or maybe even your professional socials, anything like that. I really like that idea for the networking aspect. Um, I think the reason I hadn't gone with that route yet is because I get this like tunnel vision where I'm like, okay, I need
Yeah.
to develop the main part of the app, and I need to make it better, right? Based on all the feedback I've gotten since the MVP was launched. So then I get on that, like, again, that tunnel vision mindset where, like these past few weeks, most days I'm working on the app at least a little bit. The only time I didn't was during Mother's Day weekend because I was in San Antonio visiting my mom and some other relatives. But other than that, I've been just so focused on making this version polished up and everything. But again, that's a great idea. I can definitely look into adding that networking aspect. And it's just something else to make the app that much richer, right? And encourage people to come back to it. So I really appreciate that.
And just
Yeah.
out the gate, I remember one of the first features I loved on this 2.0 was just the big play button in the middle, just coming in and going, look, just
All right.
play. Let's get started. I love that. And then just real quick, what are your thoughts or what ideas do you have for kind of like your for revenue streams on this? Would it be a monthly subscription? Um, do you plan on like maybe strategic partnership with certain courses and they give you a cut from bookings or how would that work?
Yeah. Again, great question. So I want to. I think for me, it was very important to try to keep the app free for everyone because I think it just makes it that much more accessible. And my main goal right now, especially once getting this version launched into production after all that testing, is to increase the user base as much as possible. Since we're very nascent, right? We're not even a year old. We don't have millions of dollars backing us or anything like that. It's just myself as a developer, so I don't have a team of developers or anything. So focus on increasing the user base more than anything. And then as far as revenue options, as you said, we want to try to eventually partner up with the courses that we feature on the app and maybe do some kind of revenue share where any players that we funnel to their course that book on their sites maybe get a small percentage of a kickback from each confirmed booking. And then there's always ad revenue, right? I want to avoid doing targeted ad revenue where we're, based on your, we're not going to track you or anything across any other apps. I didn't want to mess with that. But any just relevant golf ads, reach out to different golf companies or golf adjacent companies, and same ads for everyone. And that again could be another revenue source. So right now, those are kind of the two um, options that we're looking at.
Makes sense. And maybe one curiosity question for me, the buzzword of the day, obviously AI and everything, but it sounds like, you're doing a lot of the development work yourself. So just curious of your thoughts on that. If you've tried to use it, if you're, hey, I'm going to just develop it on my own, if you've used AI to enhance anything, or just your overall thoughts on that when building the app.
Yeah, sure. So when I say I'm developing it myself, I mean I just don't have another human with me, but I'm very much using AI. I love Claude Code. That's what I've been using for the past few couple months since it launched. Before that, I was just using mainly Claude, but
Hmm.
it wasn't. Now Claude Code lives in your terminal to get a little bit
Right.
technical really quick. So it wasn't as easy as it is now. Um, and then even then, a lot of the times with this AI, as a lot of people have known, and even the disclaimers that it tells you when you use them, is that it is AI and it can still make mistakes. So you have to double check your responses a lot. So that required me to use my knowledge of software engineering to double check it a lot of the times. Or I would write some like a skeleton code and then ask it to fill it in, or I
Mm.
would maybe develop a little part of it and then have it help me debug. So, and then sometimes I would just lean on it completely and be like, hey, I need you to, you know, do this entire feature and, prompt it in different ways. And then just do a lot of testing. And then I would give it that feedback like, hey, you missed this or I meant this. And it was like I was collaborating with someone at that point because
Mm.
it was very much a back and forth kind of thing where sometimes it would correct me or I would correct it, and then but eventually together we were able to get to this point.
Very cool. Yeah, no, it
Uh,
looks very clean.
my last question I had on this is going back to the revenue part. I just had an
Sure,
idea. I know that golf is a very gear heavy, gear friendly. People they start getting into golf a little bit, they want to spend $1,000 on the gear. Um,
absolutely.
have you thought about maybe partnering with certain courses who sell their stuff, or maybe like a pro shop that can always just live in your app and maybe take a cut of that revenue as well? Just like if I'm already on the app and I want to play, oh, I got something booked for Wednesday. Maybe I want to get a new 12 iron or something, I don't even sure if that's a thing, but maybe I want to get a new, a new something, new gear, right? And I have that option within the app to go ahead and do that.
uh, yeah, that's another great idea, especially for that revenue sharing. Yes, I think that that could be something that as we gain users and then as we gain the partnerships with these courses, that's more of a long-term partnership, right? Where it's like, okay, well, we're partnered up now. We've been regularly routing business to your course. How about if now we can do some revenue sharing with any potential equipment or apparel or anything like that they sell out of their pro shop? So, yeah, man, that's a great idea. Something I can definitely discuss with my team, and as we hopefully expand and grow and become a little bit successful, that is definitely something that we can look at to implementing.
Right on.
Very cool. I'm curious who else on the team. I know you mentioned you're the main developer, but who all else is involved?
So my best friend and avid golfer, the one that got me into golf in the first place, Pat Donahue. He is kind of in charge of the business side of it. His job is to talk to these golf courses, talk to the pro shop managers, introduce the app, let them know what we're trying to do. Because ultimately, this is an app to grow the game of golf. It's a game we love, and it's also designed to help golf courses fill their time slots and increase business for them. So that's his role, handle all of that aspect. And then Val, she is in charge of marketing, social media. So once we hopefully can secure small investments, she'll be in charge of taking a majority of that money and putting it towards a marketing campaign where we can really, blast TeeLynk out there, put it on all the socials, put it on YouTube, ads on different golf videos, and really get it in front of the people that matter, right? Golfers or people that are looking to get into golf. From my research, there's 26 million plus amateur golfers in the U.S. alone, and every year there's a lot more that enter into golf. So
Mhm.
even if we were to capture a small fraction of those 26 plus million golfers, then we see that as a success.
One question for me. Sorry, I know I'm late, but avid golfer as well. Very horrible at golfing. Got the bug. I'm in it for life. One thing, hey, I see the vision, man, and I appreciate what you're doing for the community. I was a guy who was, I'm really bad, and I got partnered with somebody who was really good, and it wasn't a good experience for either of us. Let me tell you, like, I apologize profusely. Like, I'm sorry, I'm bad. He was like from Scotland, or sorry, Ireland, so he took it very seriously. He was very good, and it was doable. Like we had a good time, but it wasn't. If there was something more in level with me and him, if it was somebody who was on my level or his level, it would have probably been a better experience for both of us. So I see the vision, man. I appreciate what you're doing for the community and bringing everyone together.